Hey y'all. So I just wanted to let folks know that I did a quotes and clothes trivia with my subscriber only folks, where they ended up getting to win a prize. But I just wanted to do like a version of it for the general audience. There is no prize though, except bragging rights. So I hope y'all are fine with playing this game, even though there's no prize. Thanks, Ronnie. Even though there's no prize, it is just bragging rights. Are you willing to do it even though there is no prize? Just your bragging rights. And so I'll tell y'all how I did it with my subscriber live folks. So the way that we did it is I would read a quote and they would tell me what city it happened in. So not the country, but the city. And then the first person to respond would get 3 points, the second person would get 2 points, and the last person would get 1 point. I mean, the third person would get 1 point. And it would only count after I said ready, set, go, question 1 in the comment section. And it only would count based off of what I see on my screen. Because I remember when Heather and Desiree were doing their trivia, some people were like, hey, mine is ahead in my screen. So we're not going with whatever is in the screen of other people, but rather what my screen says. Because I can't see everybody else's screen. So that's how it's going to go. Again, no prizes because the prizes went to my subscribers. But like, like this is just bragging rights, and I feel like people love bragging rights still, right? So hopefully you're down for bragging rights. So I'm gonna say the quote, and then I'm gonna be putting like the points over in the section. And remember, you can't actually start typing your answer because it won't count if it happens before I put ready, set, go in the comment section. The first one is a very hard one. And so because it was a very hard quote, I told people to just guess what the city was, because there's very few cities they went to. So somebody's going to hit on it, right? So, and I'm going to put it in the comment section of ready, set, go, question 1, but, or I should say quote is quote 1. Hold on. Let me select all. Copy. So I'm going to read it, and if you happen to know the city, only put it after I put ready, set, go, quote 1. But the quote is, cry, no him, referring to Luke, not you. What city did that quote come from? Cry, no him, referring to Luke, not you. And I'm going to see... Once I hit to see 3 people at least that have the correct answer. Okay, I got 3 people that have the correct answer. So the correct answer is London. So we're giving the first, Lauren gets 3 points. Let's see here. Miss Candlestick gets 2. And Francesca Mafe 13. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name there. Okay. Great. Awesome. So, second quote is, thank you, beekeeper. Second quote is, I also have to clarify. I was fuming. So again, I have to put it in the comments section. Ready, set, go, quote 2. Okay. I also have to clarify, I was fuming. And remember, we're looking for the city, not the country. City, not the country. City, not the country. Our folks, are there any? Okay, we got the 3 that we needed. So we got Michelle .T49 got 3 points. We have Giraffe Friend 2 points, and Kathy, even though you wrote Toronto, I know you meant Toronto, so I will give that to you, and that's 1 point. All right. Okay. Its sense of humor. Okay, quote 3. Its sense of humor. If someone can make me properly laugh. Its sense of humor. If someone can properly make me, if someone can make me properly laugh. So ready, set, go. Quote 3. Again, it's the city, not the country that I'm looking for. City, not the country. Okay. And it had to happen after I put ready, set, go. Quote 3. So because of that, the first person that got 3 points is, I don't know how to say it, but it's RANNOUNEH. 3 points. Then Lauren again. Oh, Lauren is with the first person that got at least 2 here. And then actually, no. Michelle is another person that got another question. All right. So again, for folks coming on in, this is simply bragging rights. There is no financial gain from playing this trivia game. It's just for fun. So quote number 4. Just being able to celebrate the story with Nick. We've worked so closely. We're really good friends. What city did quote number 4 happen? Ready, set, go. Quote 4. Just being able to celebrate this story with Nick. We've worked so closely. We're really good friends. Okay. We got the 3 that we needed. So the first one is Miss Candlestick gets 3 points. Vicky gets 2 points. And Ayami gets 1 point. This is all, the answer was New York. So quote 5 is, well, you know, pen is taken. So 4, and then like paused. That sounded so serious. Well, you know, pen is taken. So 4, that sounded so serious. I can't do it as well as she did. Said, oh, what happened there? Let me try again. And it won't count until I put it in the chat. Ready, set, go, quote 5. So if people have been putting it in, you have to put it in again. Ready, set, go, quote 5. So okay. So folks who may have put it prior to when I put, okay, there we go. So let's count it from here, because it had to happen after ready, set, go, quote 5. So the first one, Tiffany gets 3 points. And Diana's 25. I don't know why I'm having, sorry, gets 2 points. And the answer is Dublin here. And Rocks C gets 1 point. I did notice as I was looking at the answers to the question was, am I leaving the ship? No. Not even a little bit. Not even at all. You can't leave a ship that's about endgame. The endgame has not ended. So no, definitely not leaving. Okay. So quote 6. She's a strong, independent woman like Whistledown, but her compassion and generosity towards other people is much like Penelope. And so I'm going to put, remember, don't put your answer until I put ready, set, quote 6, then go. She's a strong, independent woman like Whistledown, but her compassion and generosity towards other people is much like Penelope. And again, we're looking for the city, not the country. Okay, that was a fast one. So, let's see. Kathy K, 23, got 3 points. Oh, okay. Plus 3 equals 4. Okay. Miss Candlestick got 2. And CC got 1. All right. Sorry, my nose is going haywire all of a sudden. Okay. There will be a Guinness involved at some point. There will be a Guinness involved at some point. That's quote 7. What city is that from? Ready, set, go. Has quote 7. Let me see if folks have gotten it already. Got 1, 2. Okay, we did. So Michelle got 3 points. We've got Beekeeper, and the answer was Galway. Beekeeper got 2 points, and Vicky got 1 point. This is the same Vicky from earlier, right? Okay, I think so. All right. Then we are doing just be so good in communicating, because if then that doesn't work, hopefully there can be still some level of friendship between all of us. And that is quote number 8. So, just be so good in communicating, because if then that doesn't work, hopefully there can still be some level of friendship between all of us. As a reminder, this is the city. And there is an answer. You know what? I'm going to give the answer. I had a different answer originally. I put Verona, but I do think it was in Milan, because in the end, the photos happen in Milan. So I'm going to give it to Milan, actually. So Michelle, I'm going to give you 3 points. And then Vicky, 2 points. And Giraffe Friend, 1 point. Okay. Okay, quote number 9 is, it is hard because I think I think women with my body type, women with perfect breasts. What city was that in? And that is, ready, set, go, quote number 9. Okay, so Michelle got 3 points there. Michelle with a healthy lead right now. Basia, I believe, got 2 points. And Ranone, I'm so sorry, got 1 point. Okay. I forgot we were recording. I can't say it in the awesome accent he said it in, but that's quote 10. Ready, set, go. Okay, so that was a fast one. So Rox XC got 3 points there. We've got, where did it go? And Stephanie got 2 points. Stephanie got 2 points. And Francesca got 1 point. Okay. I don't know how I am flirting. I would think I can flirt if I'm in a relationship. I don't know how good I am out of it, but I love that stuff. So that is quote number 11. What city did that happen in? I don't know how I am at flirting. I would think I can flirt if I'm in a relationship. I don't know how good I am out of it, but I love that stuff. I will say I still have not seen the answer. Maybe this has stumped people. If I don't see the answer in the next few seconds, I'm going to count that as a wash. So I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I only see 2 people with a correct answer. And so those are the only points I'm going to administer because after I said 1, I didn't see a third one. So Newtonic is correct with Dublin. So Newtonic gets 3 points. And then Lydia, Adele 90, gets 2 points. Let's see here. Okay. Newtonic finally, OMG. I love that. Okay, so the quote now is, who's your favorite scene partner in season 3? So I'm going to put that here. Oops, paste. And that is quote number 12. Okay, ready, set, go, quote 12. Who's your favorite scene partner in season 3? Okay, let's see here. We did get the answer, which was London. So we got Michelle. Michelle must know a lot. Must know all this stuff. Guys, healthy lead. Miss Candlestick is second place right now. So also knows stuff. And then CC with 1 point over here as well. Okay. So we have 3 more quotes, and then we're going to go to clothes. If it's that, you need to check yourself, because that is a mixed message. And so, quote, and so I will take 2, okay. You know what? I'm going to take the first 3. And the first 3 has 2 different answers. One says Milan, one says Verona. The reason I am taking those 3 is because the actual premiere happened in Verona, but some things happen in Milan, and I'm not 100% sure actually which city. So instead of penalizing people for that, I'm going to actually honor both answers. So with that being the case, I'm giving 3 points to Miss Candlestick. Then 2 points to Michelle. And then Coco KT88, I'm giving, whoopsie, Coco KT88 1 point. All right, so quote 14. It's so exciting to share it with people. It's a secret we can finally talk about. Okay, that's quote 14. Ready, set, go. Quote 14. It's so exciting to share it with people. It's a secret we can finally talk about. And RANNOUNEH, in regards to question 12, I'm basing it off of what shows up on my side of things. So it may show up different on your side, but it has to match on what my side shows, because I can't see what your screen says. And sometimes it's different than what your screen shows. So I apologize for that if it shows you different. Okay, I still don't see the answer to this question. So I'm going to count down to a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown to see if any easy answer comes out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so right at the cusp of me saying 1, Lauren came with the right answer. So Lauren gets 3 points. And I don't know how to say it. It's Bowral or something like that. BOWRAL. So that was Lauren that got 3 points. You know what? When I did the subscriber only live, people did not get that answer either. So I just think it's a hard one, I guess. Okay, the final quote before we go into clothes. And let me tell you, when I was doing the subscriber live, clothes one, the clothes cut off. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping y'all can still tell who it is. I mean, where it is based off of the clothes. But so the next quote is, someone was like, "You're lucky because you're doing such a long press tour with him. I wouldn't do this long of a press tour if I didn't like him." So, quote 15 and go. And again, we're looking for the city, not the country. What is the city this happened in? Okay, we got the 3 that we needed because the answer was Toronto. And so that's Roxy, hello. That's 7 points. I mean, not 7 points. You got 3 points plus your other 4. That makes you 7. And then it was, let's see here. Oh, I didn't realize it was both of you that, it was you that had put it twice, sorry. So I'm hoping somebody else did say it. Kathy K, 23, got 2 points. And then Tiffany. Tiffany got 1 point. Okay. All right, so we are going to go with outfits. So the only thing that I will say to folks about this part that I did with the subscriber folks was that it wasn't just the city, but I needed them to either say it was like the premiere or a press call or a photo call, or a party, or what kind of party it was. So hopefully that, is clear with folks. So if you just give me a city, I am not going to count it. I'm only going to count it if you tell me the city plus, like, is it the premiere? Is it just a photo or press tour? I mean, press call or whatever, etc., etc. So, again, I apologize because some of these photos cut off. I found out as I was sharing it with them. So, let me see here. Let me see if I can grab it here. So we can go with the first one. So this is the first one. Okay, I should not be, that was awkward. But I'm gonna put it here. Ready, set, go, photo 1. And I'm gonna, it has to be after the, okay. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get out of the way for folks. Okay, so we did get the first 3, got it in here. Okay, perfect. So the first one, I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce, but it's Ranouneh, got 3 points. Then Michelle got 2. With a healthy lead for first place. Again, just bragging rights. And then Maha got 1 point. Maha _ All right. Switching. Okay. Switching it to this one. Wait. I'll move out of the way once I put comment. Ready, set, go, photo 2. Again, what is the location and what was the event? It has to be both. Okay, we got the first 3. So it is a London photo call. Okay, so so the first one with 3 points is CC. You got Miss Candlestick with 2 points. And you got Lauren with 1 point. As things stand, we have Michelle with a healthy lead of 20 points. Then we have Miss Candlestick with second place at 14, and third place going to Lauren right now with 9 points. So let's see here. So here we go. What is that? Sorry. I'm trying to move out of the way. Okay. I know it could seem like it's Galway because there were some Galway stuff that happened that day in these outfits, but it is actually the Dublin photo call or photo shoot. So we're gonna give Michelle 3 points, Tiffany 2 points, and wait, no, it's not Tegan Pete. Sorry, a Dublin photo call. Lauren 1 point. Okay. Okay. This is, which one, which number is this? Okay, 4. When did this happen? What is this? Okay, that was an easy one, I know. Very quick for everybody. So we've got CC with 3 points. We've got Maha with 2 points. And we've got RANNOUNEH with 1 point. Okay. This one is photo 5. Okay. As a reminder, we need the city and the event. City and the event. Just the event itself is not enough. Where is it? Okay, we got what we needed. So, we have Chaos City, Chaos Dinner, New York City. So I will give Tiffany 3 points there. Fee gets 2 points. It doesn't say the word dinner, but chaos is enough. And then Newtonic gets 1 point. I apologize for any hacking you hear in the background. That is not the best background. I don't know if you hear it though. Okay. This one. Okay. I don't know if people will call this at all. There's a secondary name for it that I will count depending. But wait a minute, that's the wrong. That's not the right one. Sorry, hold on. I meant this one. So some folks may get this, but most folks call it something else. So I'll go with what people put in here as a possibility. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So Lauren is correct with the Valentine's Day photo call London. I would call it the London screening, but I take the Valentine's Day, like, I can understand why people call it that. I think it became more famous for that. So Lauren gets 3 points. And then London Press Event, Miss Candlestick gets 2 points. I mean, there's variations that count because it works. London V-Day For CC, that's 1 point. Okay. So then we've got this one does cut off. So my bad. Actually, not my bad. It's really TikTok. But I don't know why. I can never figure out what size they want. Oh my goodness. There. Okay. What is this? Remember, okay. Okay. So we have the first one that gets it is H. Manley with 3 points because it has to say the after party. It's not the premiere alone, but it's the after party. So I'll give H. Manley 3 points there. And Michelle with 2 points. And Lauren with 1 point. Okay. I will tell you the next one that I'm about to show you, nobody got when I did it for the subscriber only folks. So I will be genuinely and nicely surprised if y'all know what this came from, because a lot of folks did not know. So not only the city, but what was the event? What does BAFTA stand for? Because people said BAFTA, and if that's the case, because this is not how it was, that's not what it was put as for at least with Getty. That's not what they called this. What does BAFTA stand for? Oh, you know what then? You know what then? Blasted. You know what then? That means the people did get it right in the subscriber. Oh my word. Did I stiff people? Did I stiff people points? BAFTA would have been correct then. Because I guess I didn't realize it was the shortened version. I gotta talk to my subscribers. I gotta rewatch that to see if I stiffed anybody any points. Because it does turn out BAFTA is correct. If that's what it stood for, I should have just looked. Why? Why is that? Why did I not realize that? My bad. Oh, wait a minute. British Academy Film and Television Awards. No, then that's not what it was. Okay, I didn't stiff anybody any points. Okay. No, so maybe it's just because somebody gave the right answer somewhere. Okay. Okay. Rochelle is the closest, and I'll give it to Rochelle and to Lauren. But then at the same, Lauren said BAFTA After Party London. Is it BAFTA? Now I feel like I should just skip this question altogether and not give anybody points, because I genuinely don't know. I thought I knew the answer, which was really the London Fashion and Film Party. But is it? I guess is that considered BAFTA? People didn't change. Because, just to let you know, the Getty one marks this as a fashion and film party of where they took this photo. And it wasn't for BAFTA. So that's why. But then if they never changed clothes, then I can understand. I'm just going to skip this one. I'm sorry. I just don't know if I should give it for BAFTA. But then I'm like, maybe I'm just going to skip it. I'm sorry. My bad. Maybe I should have chosen something that could have a potential different answer because I didn't realize they didn't change clothes for 2 events. So this one should be clearer. So no points for that one, but hopefully y'all got to bask in the beauty of the 2 of them. Here you go. What's this one? Okay, much easier than the last one for sure. And I'm less confused apparently. So Tiffany got 3 points. Michelle got 2 points. And Lauren got 1 point. Okay, so just FYI right now, Michelle is in a healthy lead with 27 points. Second place, Miss Candlestick with 16, and Lauren third place with 15. So second and third are neck and neck, I suppose. And there are 6 more questions or photos to show. So let's see here. And that is photo number 10. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna be, well, okay. I know I was generous with the Verona one last time for the other thing, for the interview. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do the same thing for this one, because it was in Milan that they took this. I think, even though they're completely different cities, I feel like because I gave it up for the interviews, I'll probably do the same here. Just an executive decision on my part. So if in that case, I will still give CC 3 points for that, even though it says Verona. Beekeeper gets 2. And I'm going to still give it to H. Manley with 1. Even though technically, I mean, if y'all are, hopefully nobody's mad about that executive decision, but just got to make it. Okay, so then this one is photo number 11. Okay. Gianna said this was in Milan. It was in Milan, Gianna. It really was. But because I gave people the Verona one in the interview, I'm just giving it to them. Wrong or right, I did. So let's see. But I love how well you know your stuff, Gianna. You're like, he shaved his beard in Verona. This was Milan. Like, whoa. I love this. I love dropping the knowledge. Okay, but this is correct with Lauren. Lauren's trying to hop, skip, and jump over Miss Candlestick, and so far has done so. Except that, actually not hop and skip. Now they're just tied for second place, which allows for other people to match up third place. Third place right now also have a tie then between Tiffany and Cece. Okay, and then and it has to be both the location and the event. So Tiffany, I will give you 1 point there. Okay. So let's see. Here we have, now it's going to be 12. Okay. And 12. Okay. I know Luke is cut off, but I still think you can kind of tell what he's wearing. So please tell me. Okay. I think pretty much everybody knew that. Okay. So we've got Cece. Whoops, Cece. And we've got Coco. Coco with 2. And Lauren with 1. Okay, so now it's Michelle with 27, first place. Second place now taken over by Lauren and with 19, and Miss Candlestick with 18. Okay, let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. Photo, and this is photo 13. And remember, it has to be both the location, the city, and what was the event. Okay. So the first one would be CC with 3. Oh, CC's coming in from like behind here. And then H. Manley with 2 points. Oh, wait, no, sorry, not 2 points. Sorry. I just realized you said New York City. Tam with 2 points. And the answer is Rio's. Either photo day or press day, either works. And then Coco with 1 point. Okay. So we're on the last 2 photos. We have also another thing that may have been cut off. I don't remember. Maybe. This is photo 14. What was this? Yeah, he was cut off again. I don't mean to cut off Luke. I really don't. And I just realized there's my dirty clothes there. But, okay. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we have Lauren with 3 points. And Maha with 2 points. And then Tam with 1 point. All right. The final photo. Did it take? Okay, it actually says photo 50. You actually see it instead of me. So. Okay. Okay. So the correct answer is the Rio premiere. So the photo one would not count. So Maha gets 3. Michelle gets 2. And Cece gets 1. Wow, Cece came from behind. Here. Well, I mean, for 3rd place. Okay. So, just, again, purely straight up bragging rights. Nothing else. Just bragging rights. We have first place, Michelle.T49 with 29 points. Second place, Lauren with 22 points. And then 3rd place is Cece with 19 points. So, congratulations. I hope you have all the bragging rights. And just say you know your trivia. Now, mind you, there were 2 things that I had to, like, you know, make an executive decision on. And then the other one was, like, I was just not sure if it was. I should have given it for BAFTA. I probably should have, hearing from everybody. So with that said, we finished up the fun trivia, and before I wrap up the night, just wanted to check in with folks and see your thoughts on what's been going on. Yay, I'm glad y'all had fun. That was a hope. You know, it is kind of fun to do trivia stuff just because, you know, keep it fun and lighthearted. Miss Candlestick says such a lovely distraction this evening. Yay. So any final particular thoughts in regards to any new news that you've been hearing lately that you wanted to talk about? If not, I'll just head off for the night, but just wanted to touch base with folks before, because for folks that don't know, my friend actually got discharged today, so I'm so excited. That's why you actually see me in my room, because pretty much my life was in the hospital since Wednesday. So I was very, very excited when he was told this morning that he was going to get to go home, technically to his parents' home, unfortunately. Which he wasn't. It was a very conflicting emotion for him, you know, because he wanted to be out of the hospital, but you know, yeah, no, it is what it is right now. So, yeah. And also, I hope y'all are just having fun with me along with my post, because I really don't want people, like, I think sometimes people think it's like an overanalyzation of like the things. It's not meant to be an overanalyzation. It is just meant to be like a mystery, and it's fun, and it's just playful. Like literally on that bus, I didn't even see Nicola there on that bus until somebody was like, she's in that bus. And so I slowed it down just to see what they were seeing. And in the end, I had, 3 people give me 3 potential locations of Nicola. And the reason I think I did go, like, I think Tam, for me, was the most convincing, was simply because the first person that they pointed out that they thought was Nicola, I do agree that the hair color doesn't seem to match. And also the nails. Somebody brought up the nails didn't seem to be like her nails. Then the other person suggests, so that person was like 2 seats in front of the cameraman. The second option I was given was 3 seats in front of the cameraman, and you don't see the person at all except when they put their hand through their hair. And that person thought the hair color was closer to Nicola's, and they felt like the nails were closer to Nicola. But the reason I think that Tam won me over was Tam suggested Nicola was sitting in the front and circled it, and you would have seen that video. But what convinced me about it is because she had been seen by fans earlier that day, I believe. Maybe earlier, maybe later, I don't know. But her hair was not laying flat like it was with the person that was sitting 2 seats ahead of the cameraman. Like, you could see a little bit more like, I don't know what the right term for it, but it wasn't laying flat. So I agreed with that. Plus, you could tell that that person sitting in the front was also kind of has this hair color that Nicola has right now, as well as you could see that they were wearing a black outfit. But you see this like yellow strap, which to me literally looked like a bag. Now, I didn't see a bag that she was holding when she was photographed with fans. So I think she's had at least 2 photographs with 2 different sets of fans. And so I never saw like a yellow bag, but it's not beyond her to use a yellow bag. And that's what I showed. Like, it looked like other bags that she potentially has used in the past. So that's why I was like, okay, if I were to choose, if I did a poll and I said, which one would you think it was, first, second, or third option that I was given, I think I lean more towards the third option, because it just seemed like I like the logic behind it. Tam, I see you there. Frizzy, wavy-ish hair. Yeah. Yeah. So, Janine says she changes her nails all the time. And the thing is, though, I think the reason people thought it was not her nails is because she usually does do something with her nails. And the person who was on their phone 2 seats ahead just didn't do anything with their nails, and they feel like Nicola would do something with her nails typically. She usually has cute nails, is I guess the point of the person who had originally thought, no, not that person. It's this person who's combing their hand through their hair. So So hopefully y'all just find that fun. Because sometimes I'm like, I think sometimes people take it very seriously. Like, you know, oh my word, why can't like we leave these folks alone? Why do they have to, their lives have to be dissected? And I hope that that's not what people are feeling when they're watching these videos, because it really is meant to be lighthearted. It's like when we were trying to figure out the Scrabble board, or I don't know what else, whatever other mystery we have. You know, it's more so that than anything else. Thanks, Sharon. Rena said, I thought the fan picked her nails were not done. Oh, Rena comes back with another. Okay, even if it was not her nails, even if her nails did match the person 2 seats ahead, I do still think that that person had more platinum blondish hair-ish, and it didn't land. Like, it didn't land. It landed too soft. I mean, not too softly, too flat. That's why I still, now, like, Tam has sold me on her theory. You know, now, like, because Tam has sold me on her theory, I'm like, it's going to take a little bit more extra for me to be convinced. Though somebody jokingly said, at this point, I'm saying that she's the driver of the bus, and I thought that was hilarious. H. Manley said, it's all just fun. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping people get. You know, I mean, honestly, as a person who believed, you know, in Endgame situation, like, of course, you know, I think Valencia said it in her video, which I totally get. It's like, well, if there's something genuinely serious, if there's genuinely a relationship going on, which we don't actually know about, but people are just assuming because people are reading the tea leaves, and I mean, not tea leaves, but what's the right term? Like, they're reading like all the signs, and assuming that they're assuming a lot of things, right? But if we were to assume all those things, right? Valencia was like, well, I'm not gonna be talking about it. Like, I'm gonna try to keep it in this, you know, general vicinity. And like, of course, I'm not going to, like, I'm going to try to stay as respectful of whatever that looks like as possible, but I'm still very Lucala. So that Lucala is driven heavily on Endgame. So it's not driven on like what is happening in the moment necessarily, more than what I believe will happen in the end. And maybe part of that is just making sure that people knew that I knew it was going to happen before it did. Maybe I'm just putting my like stakes down there, going like, y'all, you know, like all those Zendaya shippers that like stayed loyal through all the dating that those two did before they got together, like, more power to ya. Yeah, because people were telling you were off your rocker, probably. They were telling you to give up hope. They were telling you to move on. I don't know actually if anybody was doing that to Zendaya shippers. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I wasn't living in fandom world at that time. But, you know, there is that chorus of people like just being like, you know, and Tom dated that one person for a year and moved in together for a little bit of time. So like it felt serious, right? Like if any shippers were supposed to lose some hope, it was probably during that time he was dating that person for a year. Because if a person's dating somebody a year, move in together for a little bit of time, you feel like, oh my word, maybe this is endgame for him. But no, they stayed the course, believed that it was an endgame for him, and they were right. Then they, you know, the folks, they broke up. And so sometimes you can have somebody dating a good amount of time and it still doesn't amount to actual like commitment, you know. Tam said it was fun. I didn't see her at first, kept watching and looked at the front. Yeah. Giraffe Friend said, it's like playing a game with 1,000 other people, but in the end we all win. H. Manley said, no acrylics at festival, her own short ones. So here's the thing. So then if that's the case, then maybe the second option that someone gave was not the right one, because that person did have nicer nails. So that could leave the first option, which is what the person thought, right? Or it could leave the option that Tam gave, which we don't see the nails. So until someone gives me even more convincing argument than Tam, I'm still riding in the front with with Tam's version of Nicola in the front of the bus, I guess. Um, Vicky said we have to bid our time and wait for our Lugula. KM Shoppy said, I didn't know that he lived with his ex. I mean, I think it happened during the pandemic. Like, I don't know if they lived together because they wanted to or that they had to by necessity at that point. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. It's in the video I did where I read the article about it. Tam said, plus she probably can't do her nails due to the movie. Good point, possibly. What else was like some fun stuff? Also the reason the person was claiming that why she was wanting the Nicola that she was suggesting to be Nicola was 2 seats in front of the cameraman was because her suggestion was that the shirt that person was wearing 2 seats in front of the camera person was then removed and given to who she believes is Jake, because she's like, did you see the person with the bucket hat? And now he's wearing the shirt she was wearing in the bus. Now part of me is like, I don't think it's the same shirt. I genuinely don't. But it was just very interesting. I like the theory. I like what they were playing with it, but I just didn't think it was the same shirt. But I put the video out there for other people to surmise what they thought, if they thought it was the same shirt. But I thought it was a darker shade. But then I'm like, I get it. It's different when you're on a bus, like the lighting in a bus versus lighting like out in the sun when they're walking on the boat itself. So, but to be honest, in the beginning, I didn't even think she was on the bus at all. And I still don't know if she was ever on the bus. You know? H. Manley said, I'd be bored stiff if I didn't have you creators to keep it lighthearted and fun. Thanks, H. Manley. Isa B, I'm just nervous in case all of the nonsense affects them in their relationship. You know what, Izzy B, I understand that nervousness, right? I will say though, that out of all of the things that could affect their relationship, I don't think like playful, like these playful stuff. I think what makes me more nervous than anything else is invasion of privacy. Like this is literally things that is not at their homes, which I think would be an incredible invasion of their privacy. It is not digging up things that are not publicly known. These are things, now mind you, is it silly that we're looking at this stuff? Yes, it is. But that's kind of the part of the fun of it. It's the silliness of it. But I do think like there's rules of thumbs for me, right? I don't go on their pages. I don't comment on their things. I don't bring things that are fan stuff to them. And it actually unnerves me when people choose to bring things that are supposed to be just for the fandom to them. Like, so that's the only thing that I'm like, okay, it's one thing when we're being like, we're having a little nonsense talk, a little funness talk, but like, they don't need to know that. Like they really don't. Like, but it's so funny to me when people are like, we're so concerned for them, and then bring them the nonsense. Like what? They're not even playing. They're not even here. They're not in my lives in dealing with the funness of the nonsense. Yeah. Anyways, Lauren said, I think the nonsense will more drive them away from sharing anything that involves the other. Like, I don't know, Lauren. Well, it depends on what you define as nonsense. Because I feel like, playfully talking about, like, oh, where's Waldo's version of, where's Waldo's version of Nicola on the bus. To me, that's nonsense, but it's playful. And I'm honestly, like, in the end of the day, she might not even be on that bus. It is so grainy. It's so silly. We just know she was in Malta because she was filming, But, like, I think sometimes people think, like, I don't know how to describe this, but I don't have I don't have main character. Like, I don't think I'm the main character in any of their lives. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes, sure, they're sure if they got to hear everybody's, like, if they got to hear what we hear as a fan base, like, I can understand the concern, Isaby. I really can. But I think that hopefully they're making wise decisions around like what they allow themselves to consume, and they're not taking in everything that we take in as a fan base. Our fan base knows too much, like of too much of everything, and that makes us so hyper aware of like, oh my word, if they know this and they know that, maybe they're gonna close in and start acting awkward. I don't want, like I always say, I don't want a Corey and India situation with them, because I don't. I want them to remain regular and have fun. I guess to me, I just can't live in the I can't live in the mindset of like always worrying that somebody's gonna mistake like the things that I do and make it more serious than it needs to be. And so sometimes I literally just allow, like, if I get to have a sentiment that like my content is like feeling like harmish to people, certain folks, and yet I don't feel like it's a harmful thing, like I will try to make sure that they feel protected by like not seeing my stuff, because like I don't want to like get in people's mental headspaces where they're like, oh my word, this is so like intrusive, or this is so like, I mean, I have certain lines where I think is intrusive. There are certain things that I would never broach or never go to because I absolutely think it's intrusive. But like taking a video and being playful with what this person shared with us, and we don't even know if Nicholas in there, I think it's just like, you know, just kind of like a fun mystery situation. But again, I'm really genuinely not trying to stress anybody's life at all. So that's why, like, even in this morning, when I chose to block someone because they're like, I'm so tired of seeing this stuff, I'm like, okay, well, then I will help you. Because I don't want them to go online and feel tired because they're seeing something they don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, the best thing to do to help you is just help you not see my stuff, kind of thing. Because I'm not trying to stress people out. This is supposed to be fun and lighthearted and a fandom. And it's like, some people are like, but other people are taking it so seriously. I can't live in that too much. Like, I can't live in constantly worrying about how other people will choose to handle information, if they're going to handle it like responsibly or irresponsibly. Like, they're their own person. And I think that's the thing. Like, one of the biggest things for me as a person who creates stuff is that, one, I do feel a deep sense of responsibility. So I do think I want to be responsible in the ways in which I handle information. But I'm also not going to be responsible for people's response to it. So if people are going to like mistake like what my content is to be deeper than I'm making it out to be. Like, I was talking to somebody about like, it almost feels like I have to do disclaimers in every one of my videos to just be like, this is for the Delulu worse. Like, this is for Luca shippers that want to still be playfully Delulu. And I don't even think we're Delulu because we just believe in Endgame. So that the people that are coming on will just know, like, if they're not in that headspace, this is not the content for them. Because you have to view things within the context in which the creator has made it. Like, but many times people don't know like what the intent of the creator is unless they put some sort of disclaimer. But that's tiresome to always have a disclaimer to say like, hey, like, this is a joke, or this is really playful, this is just fun. Because there are some folks that take it so seriously. like that anything, because, and here's the thing, I know it's driven by the love for Lucilla, right? And the desire to see Lucilla together. And people don't want anything that could potentially harm that possibility. And so I'm never mad at it because I get it that people just don't want anything to potentially ruin the chances for a Lucilla ending. And to me, I just don't think the fan base has that much power. I know that sometimes the fan base thinks we have the power to bring them together or to tear them apart, but I don't think we do. I think we're side characters wanting main character energy, and they're not putting us as main characters in their stories. I mean, I think we can be the fan base can sometimes be an annoyance maybe in the way it handles things, but it's never going to be enough to keep them from being together. If this fan base was enough to keep Lucilla from becoming Endgame, then were they supposed to be Endgame in the first place? Like, I don't think so. I think when people are Endgame, it doesn't matter that some fans are rooting for them to be together. Like, you know, Tegan P said, I agree, we're not that important. I really don't think we're as important as sometimes people want to make us out to be. We are not that. I mean, now here's the thing. I want to be clear though. I do believe that we have to be careful, especially about rumors or things of that nature. Thank you, Tam. I do think like we have to be careful of like the things that we put out that could be potentially dangerous. I guess I just don't think that is the content that I put out. I don't. At the same time, I understand that people might think that it is. I don't know how sometimes. I sometimes feel like it has to be an incredible reach to make it be as dangerous as people want to make it to be, when I've never said definitively one way or another, because I'm literally just like, this is a mystery. I wonder who this person is. This might be a fun thing to figure out. I'm not like beholden to any answer. Like when that one picture that I was like, I think it could be this Joss guy. It could not be. I'm not going to be destroyed if it turns out to actually really genuinely be Jake or some other random dude that is like, we don't even know who it is. Like, it doesn't really matter. The fun is in trying to just play around and see who it could potentially be. Rena, Rena, you crack me up all the time. Rena says, guys, we didn't stop the pap walk. I doubt they're changing their behavior for us. I mean, exactly, Rena. If they cared about our opinion, would they be dating any of the other people? No. And we're going to be the reason why they won't get together? Please. Please. We're not going to be the reason. They're going to be their own reasons if they don't get together. It is not going to be us, because if we had as much power and influence to them, then we would not be in this situation. We would not be in this roller coaster. And frankly, I'm not on a roller coaster simply because I do believe in Endgame. And when you believe in Endgame, you don't get on roller coasters. You're just kind of coasting along, waiting for the Endgame to happen. But with that said, Vicky said, we don't have the influence in their personal lives. We really don't. Luke, in his interview, explicitly stated, that he keeps a lot of his personal life offline, because though he has those conversations with the people that actually matter in his life. And he says it in this way, which always cracks me up: friends, family, and loved ones. I don't know why he breaks it up into those three categories the way that he does, but he does. Friends, family, and loved ones. In those orders. In that order: friends, family, and loved ones. I don't know why, but that's his thing. My point being, they're the ones that influence his personal life. They're the ones that get to speak into his life. We don't. I feel like fans want to have so much main character energy that we actually do not in any way or shape or form have in their actual lives. We don't. We don't matter as much as we think we do. I mean, we matter in some cases, but not in the... I don't know. It's not. I mean... And I'm not saying that to dismiss our own responsibility as fans to act responsibly. and to engage with them responsibly. Thank you, Melinda. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that because I'm that doesn't, like, me saying I don't think that we have main character, like we're main characters in their life. I mean, at best we're side characters, and I'm not even sure we're that. That's not me saying, oh, I'll excuse myself if I speak in a way that's dangerous or irresponsible. I mean, people can still call me out on that, and I will still consider it. Sometimes I'll agree with people and make a change, take down a video, have a discussion about why I took down a video because of a conversation I had with somebody. But sometimes I stand with, 10 toes down or whatever. I stand on business because I genuinely don't believe that something I'm putting out is dangerous. But if somebody like sits down with me and talks to me and says, this is the reason, I take it down. I've had those situations where I've done exactly that. But, because I'm not going to always make the right decision 100% of the time, but I try to make the right decisions. Doesn't mean I always do. But I think sometimes we got to understand that we don't matter as much as we think we do in their lives. Like, they're not waking up in the morning and going, oh my word, what did Bocce Go Hawks post today? Like, they're not, it's that, that's not something I think that they're thinking, nor are they thinking like, what did user with a lot of numbers right behind it say in the comment section about who I am as a person and why I should be with Nicola, or why I should be with Luke. Like, I don't think that that's the reality. Melinda said, like Daph said in season 1, it shouldn't be up to anyone else. It cannot be up to anyone else. Exactly. The Greenberg Brigade said, I think we all want what we saw during the tour to be validated, but they're going to do what they want. Exactly. I mean, they are. Tam said, I think it's worse with the trolls DM versus us fans who actually love think. Tam, I feel like you were saying something else, and I'm the worst at figuring out what that would have been. H. Manley said, if they cared, they'd be joining in on these lives. Exactly. I mean, maybe the bigger creators out there, they might be creeping in on some of those. Who knows? But they're certainly not going to be creeping in on mine. Like, and if they did, hopefully they find that the content that I'm saying is not harmful to them, and that they think is playful and fun too. I could look in the face of Nicola and Luke and stand by my content. I'm never going to be like, I am so ashamed I posted this about like this or that. Like, if I can't stand behind my content, then I take it down. Anything I keep up, I usually stand by it, unless I don't stand by it anymore and I forgot to take it down. But most of the time, like, I'm like, this is all fun and lightheartedness. Please just take it as that. But at the same time, I can't help it if people don't take it as that, because everybody has different like lines about what they think is too much for them. And that's when I say, like, people have to then make choices for themselves about what they choose to expose themselves to. And I never want people to expose themselves to my content if it does a lot of mental harm to them. I hope, like, I'm not putting out stuff that does that to folks, but sometimes I get comments that I'm like, really? This? But at the same time, I can't be dismissive of that, because that is somebody's reality. If somebody's getting affected genuinely that way, like, I'm not going to be dismissive of that, because that's something that's definitely painful for someone for one reason or another. But again, that's when I try to help them by not letting them see my content anymore, because I don't want to create like mental like harm to anybody. But I also don't want to stop creating things that I don't think typically should be like creating that response in people. But I don't know. Like, so I hope that makes sense. Lynn29 said, really? I feel like I'm on a ship that has a roller coaster. Cindy said, it's a fun distraction. What you are going through with your friend is real life. Oh my word. Yes, Cindy. I think, like, this is what I say to people all the time. I am such a Lucala shipper. I want to see them as endgame, but they are not my life. Like, if they don't get together, you know who misses out? Not me. Not me. my life goes on. They're the ones I think that miss out. Point blank period. Like, my life at the end of the day is not affected. The direction of my life, where my life goes, isn't based on whether Lucala gets together or not. I am a Lucala fan. I am a Lucala shipper because I think that they're endgame, and that they would be totally missing out if they don't give each other a chance. But it's still up to them. It's their life to live. It is not my life to live. As much as I root for it, as much as I think it's so super cute, it's not my life to live. Sarah Beth, we are extras if that. That's a good one. We are extras. And we're not even side characters, we're extras. We're extras. Fee says, thank you, K-Girl. Fee says, we have to remember they are real people. They don't know who I am, who each individual is. Yeah. I mean, they have no idea. And I want folks to understand, okay, Tegan P, thanks, Phoebe, have to go and teach. Okay, bye. At the end of the day, like, you know, hopefully I can't control anybody else. Sometimes people get into like watching other fans fan. Like, I can't put that as a burden on my shoulder. Like, I have to, one, be responsible for the content I create, be responsible for the way I choose to respond. But if somebody chooses to misuse or misrepresent my content, I am not going to put that on me, because that is on anyone who chooses to do that. I can't help when something gets out of its context, and somebody chooses to like make it something bigger than it was meant to be, right? And sometimes that happens when your content gets beyond your like main base audience. Your main base audience knows your intention. Those outside of your main base does not. So they project their own intentions onto your stuff. And sometimes that, if it gets too much, I do like end up privating it, because I'm like, look, I'm not about here to explain a million times why my content is not what somebody's trying to make it out to be. So anyways, Marina said, Bocce is describing me. If I become a content creator, I would take it all personal. TK said, this is a fandom. It's fun, not real life. Totally. Thank you, Tam. Fee said, agree, all fun. Serenity Chic said, people keep taking things too seriously. I joined the fandom purely for entertainment and fun. Yeah, I think, you know, I think it went off the rails after the promo tour was done, right? Because we were getting fed different things to look at and be cute. Everything was cute. So everybody was kind of on the same page and just enjoying that stuff, you know? And then when that stopped, people had to figure out how to keep, I guess, feeding themselves with information. And so, I don't know. And then people started splitting and people started fighting. And it's like, wow, like, where's the fun now? Like, I don't know. So I try to keep it as fun as like my own place can handle, you know, my own heart can handle. Trish says, yes, if they don't align with your thoughts, content, then they can find another creator. And yeah. And the great thing is there's so many Lucala creators right now, and all of them are doing it just uniquely who they are as a person. And that's the beauty of it. And the thing is like, I'm not saying that the folks that view my content and feel a particular way doesn't have the right to feel however they feel. Every person has the right to feel however they feel about my content. I'm just saying that the minute they voice it to me, like they can voice it to their friends, they can voice it on their page, but the minute that they voice it to me and I'm made aware that they're feeling all this stuff, and it's like negatively associated stuff, like it's not like I'm making them laugh, I'm making them happy, but I'm like either making them angry. I said to somebody, I'm not going to be your source of rage bait. Like, I'm not rage baiting anybody. So if you're getting angry watching my stuff, you're not going to watch my stuff anymore, because I'm not going to be like the reason you're like, I'm so angry because this person's posting this thing. It's like, why are you feeding that? I'm not going to feed your anger. Or people are suddenly like feeling a whole slew of stuff, you know. I just usually figure that's like my sign that the person should not be seeing my stuff. Jazzy21, thank you. Trish says, I personally enjoy all of your content. Thanks, Trish. I appreciate that. The Greenberg Brigade said, yeah, exactly. My life isn't going to change because of them. It really doesn't. Tam said, that's the best way to do it. Block and let them go. Yeah. And here's the thing. Sometimes people are like, why did I get blocked? Sometimes I get that question. But usually there's something that does prompt it. And blocking people is not meant to be necessarily a mean thing. I never block people to be mean. I usually block people for my own safety. Sometimes it's my safety. Sometimes it's for my own, like, mental health. But some of times it is genuinely for the mental health of the person. Because if they're feeling this level of emotion that they're saying these things onto my comment section, like, it's not that I can't take their comment, more than it's like I don't want to. Like, I can do that in real life, but if this is like an online platform, I'm genuinely just trying to like keep it lighthearted and fun. So if somebody's getting so serious or complaining about some stuff, I'm like, well, let me help you, you know? Let me help you, and it'll help me as well. Sue said, yes, it should be fun. We as fans just need to support and have fun watching them. So, and just to make it clear too, like, me blocking folks does not mean like they did anything wrong either. Sometimes people are like, oh, you blocked someone, they must have done something wrong. Very rarely is someone doing anything like objectively wrong. Like, I respect everybody's autonomy. Just my autonomy happens to involve like sometimes blocking people. Now sometimes I might rethink it and be like, oh, did I still really want that person blocked? Like, I've had times where I've unblocked somebody and then I'm reminded why I blocked them. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's right, that's why. But Serenity Chic says, true words cannot be spoken, Phoebe. Thanks, Serenity. I don't know what I was saying at that time, but I appreciate it. And sorry again, you know, y'all know I always have these issues with my nose. Y'all probably are irritated because y'all gave me ideas of what to do with my nose, and I still have not done any of them. And you see me like feeling the itchiness of my nose, and you'll be like, why? We already gave you answers. And you took none of it. Lynn29 said, we believe they are endgame. It would be sad, but we live on in our own lives. Exactly. Nick's Rich said, late to party. Did we find out who was on boat with Nick? No, we did not. You wish you were in Malta right now? I wish I was in Malta only because it looked really pretty. I mean, I don't know how to swim though. Probably should learn how to swim, or at least put on a life jacket so I don't die. Sharon said, my concern is when fans reinforce misinformation as fact or known info. Nobody knows anything. Yeah. I do get concerned about that. And so when I get concerned about that, I am vocal about it. I was vocal about my concern around the rumor around photos being taken at Nicola's home. Like, I felt like that was a very dangerous, slippery slope. Like, you know, in the beginning of my account, sometimes people would send me photos of things, and I would sometimes respond to them. I want you to be aware that I will never make a post about this because X, Y, or Z. Like, just because somebody gives me a photo does not mean I will ever speak about something. Because sometimes I've said to folks, I will not speak on this because I find like this could create more damage than good. Like, if I don't think that something's gonna help the fandom, like, I'm not going to share something. You know what I mean? So, I'm not even gonna share I have it. Because the act of even saying I have something, like, I mean, obviously I'm saying something right now where I'm like, oh, I got stuff, but I didn't tell you what that stuff is. I'm just saying that sometimes people send you stuff. It doesn't mean that you then, like, necessarily automatically disperse it to other people, because you have to sometimes think, just having this, like, do people need to know I have this? You know, if I don't think it's actually going to be helpful to the fandom. So, I mean, so a part of me feels like, you know, those are choices that people make. So I'm very vocal about like my concerns around those kind of things. At the same time, I do it just in my space, because I, again, people are all responsible for themselves to do their own due diligence around like what content they consume. So sometimes I get so excited about a piece of information and I'm like, yeah. And then I realize I failed my own due diligence of like fact checking. I think the one that like I had said originally was like, I didn't think, thank you, Sharon. I didn't think that, that I thought that Jake was not in the VIP section with Nicola, because I thought he didn't have the VIP. But then someone brought up the fact that like, no, he does. He has the silver bracelet. And then when I look back at his pictures, he did. So it's like, oh, okay, maybe it's because he took a picture in a general section. So it gave the impression that he was in the general section, but he does have access to the VIP section. So those kind of fact checking things, like I get so excited about something, and if it like fits your own narrative, sometimes you're less likely to like fact check something. But that's when you need to fact check it more, when it's something that you already agree with, because you're more likely to like let things slide when it's something you already agree with. So you're more likely to scrutinize something you disagree with. So yeah. So if I hear misinformation, I will share it to say like, this is misinformation. And yet at the same time, I recognize that me just saying it should never ever be enough. People need to be able to surmise that, because they seek that out and seek out the evidence to say whether something is real or not. Just because a content creator says something does not mean that is gospel truth or should be taken as like, well, this person says it. And I would like to believe I'm a trustworthy person. I would like to believe that I do my due diligence, but that does not mean that I'm never wrong. And so I never want somebody said, well, Phoebe said this in a live or said this in the post, therefore it must be true. I can be wrong and I can be corrected. So I should never be the final say for anybody. And I always think it's kind of nerve-wracking when people get to a point where they're dependent on a content creator to tell them what to think about something, because everybody has their own mind and their own autonomy to decide something. And so, but that's part of like learning to go, okay, just because somebody's putting this out and I trust this entity and I trust this person to be like usually a good source of things, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't still like double check things. But again, people make their own decisions. I can only control what I can control. Sharon says, you do a great job. Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Marie said, gingerbread people are fun, Phoebe. You really ended up loving that gingerbread, Marie, which cracks me up so much. Serenity Chic says, other twisting your content is ridiculous. The misinformation has gotten out of hand. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think people see, thank you, K-Girl. I think people see what they see. You know what I'm saying? So I always remind myself, and y'all have heard me say this a million times, and you'll probably hear me say it a million times more, which is that every emotion is valid. It's just the information that informs that emotion that may be incorrect. And that I have found to be very true. Like, I'm never really mad or upset that somebody feels a particular way about my stuff, because whatever they're telling themselves, whatever narrative they're telling themselves about me is what's causing that emotion inside of them. So the emotion is valid based off of whatever story they're telling themselves. It's just that that story may not be actually true. But I can't fight that necessarily, except I just got to stay true to who I am as a person. Hi, Rochella. You're probably like, you're just saying hi now? Yeah, I'm always behind. But I'm not too behind right now because it's only 47 new messages. Usually it's like 99 plus new messages. So I think I'm doing really, really good at kind of staying on. Ren042691 says, hi, how are you? I like your content. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm doing good, especially now that my friend has been discharged from the hospital. Makes my day, for sure. Tiffany said mental health of both parties. Absolutely. It really is. Like when I block things, it is for the benefit of all of us. And it actually isn't only benefiting me, but it also benefits sometimes like people in general, that may have to like engage. Like I want people who engage on my page to like each other. I mean, like I can't make people like each other, but like I want them to have a good experience. I don't want them to find that they go on my page and they're harassed by someone. If anyone ever has that experience, please let me know so I can, you know, deal with that. I don't know something just dropped behind me. Mel said it gets exhausting trying to reason with someone who goes on someone's page to argue with them. That's the thing. So sometimes people don't block because they want the engagement. Because here's the thing, how like algorithms work and all these different things. They have found that if you get people angry, they'll stay on your app more. And they'll go back and forth with each other, And people think that that's something that I would want. I like the back and forth when it's fun. But when people are starting to get in shouting matches with each other or getting on each other, like, no, I'm sorry. Like, go to somebody else's page. That's not, I don't know what kind of engagement you think I want on this page, but that is not it. Like, I want people to have good experiences with each other, not someone to get on my page and then somebody gets, says something to them that just, like, it's not a happy thing. I know that I can't 100% control that. Sometimes that might happen. Thankfully, like in the beginning of my content creation, like I was getting so many comments and thank you, Minnie, so many things that it was hard for me to like stay on top of it. But thankfully, it's kind of like gone down to like a more measurable thing where the majority of things are like more so likes, not necessarily messages. But so I can kind of try to monitor a little bit if people are being hurtful to each other. But yeah, I don't want that for people either. So that's another reason why I might, if I see someone like be harassing to people on multiple like posts or something, then yeah, I'll block them, because then I don't want them to do that to people that are on my page trying to just have fun. Sharon said, I try to joke too. Yeah. Tam said, exactly. Mel said, I like to be a fun page. Yeah, and you are a fun page, Mel. TK said, if you go on someone's page and to be mean and you deserve to be blocked is how I feel. I mean, I definitely, TK, I definitely think that, sometimes people feel like they have an entitlement to people's pages and they can just conduct themselves any way they want. Of course they can, because everybody has autonomy. Everybody has the right to do whatever they please. But that goes the other way as well. So they're not talking to a machine. They're talking to a person. So I get to also decide how I respond. So yes, it's sometimes like if somebody's being mean, they get blocked. And I think like sometimes people feel like, when I first started my content creation, like the speed in which my account was growing was like, the speed was ridiculous. I went from like 1,000 followers or something to like 5,000, like that. Well, yeah, pretty much like that. It happened in like a span of a month, I think. And then now it's been like was it a month? Maybe 2 months. Maybe, I don't know. It was very fast. And then it just stalled, right? Like it took me forever just to get the next 1,000 to hit 6,000. And it goes up and down because sometimes I block people. Sometimes people unfollow me, The thing was, my whole thing was always never like I wanted followers to have followers. I've always wanted followers. Thank you, Dowsy49. That was gonna like jive with me, like vibe with me, and also vibe with the people, like the community that was being created. And if it wasn't for them, it wasn't for them. I wasn't gonna beg people to please stay if it wasn't for them, because it should serve all parties involved. Like, so if it's not serving that person, like I wouldn't want somebody to be like, to stay, Rochilla said, is it not Jake? Is it not true? Rochilla, I genuinely don't know. It's such a grainy photo. I understand why people think it's Jake. But I can also understand why people would think it's not Jake. It's so grainy. Sharon said, it's one of the great things about you. Thank you. I don't know what it was. Again, that's the problem with me going like way behind, way after the fact. Serenity, she said, once safety becomes an issue, it needs to stop. I'm glad you're conscious of that. Oh, super conscious of that. It's just because I think a lot about how I don't ever want someone to put my own safety into, you know, into danger. Like, I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want, like, I just think about, like, it doesn't matter if they're celebrities. Like, they're a human being first and foremost. Like, you know, how would I feel if someone was coming into my space like that? I would have a big issue with that. Sharon said, I love that about you, Phoebe. I feel the same way. Tam said, yep, it's about safety. Oh, okay. So it was probably around the safety conversation that this was all happening. Genevieve says, it's called ethics and you have them. Thanks. Thanks, Genevieve. I try to. Again, I'm never above reproach. Like, sometimes I make mistakes and people call me out on it. And one of the things that a professor at the college that I went to had said was, she had said, do you love truth? Do you love truth so much that even if your enemy spoke it, you could take it? And I've always taken that quote whenever I've had to hear really hard truths from someone I may not like as a person, or they may not like me as a person. And I have to separate how I personally feel about the person versus like the content in which they're giving. So somebody may come at me in like a rude or mean way, but if they're telling something that's truthful, like, I'm still able to receive it for what it is because it's still truth. Maybe hard for me to swallow. Maybe their intent is ill-driven or ill motives, you know, but it doesn't change the truthfulness of the statement. So I've changed the course of my content creation early on simply from some of the feedback I received from folks. I think that in the beginning, I probably could have continued to grow my page like really quickly if I kept on some of the things I was doing in the beginning. But because I decided like, no, I actually don't want my page to be about that. I don't want, like, because it would make me feel icky in the end, personally. Like, I want the content that I have or the lives that I have with folks to walk away feeling like happy and pumped and like encouraged. I don't want people to feel like they were taken down. You know what I mean? So Mel said, I completely agree, Phoebe. TK said, some people were saying it was unsafe when Luke's location was leaked, and they are doing the same to Nicola. Oh, yeah. Hopefully that people were saying that the person who had posted these videos had locations listed on it, which again, all I don't know. I guess I didn't see if it did, but they said it did. The other thing is, hopefully they weren't doing it in real time. I think the other person, they were saying things were being posted in real time. I don't know how accurate that is, if it was posted in real time, but my friend who is an ex-Marine, his thing with his sister, he always told her, never, ever, ever, and I'm not good at this. Sometimes I still fail at this, but he said, never, ever, ever post in real time your location, ever. And actually, he's proponent of never, ever sharing your location at all, period. Because you don't want people to figure out your particular patterns. Like if the person notices, like maybe you post it after the fact, but they notice, oh, this person always likes to go here, always likes to do this. And I have to remind myself of this too, because I'm such an open book that sometimes I'm like, there's some people that have ill motives. So I got to remember that sometimes, but I don't like to think that way. But he reminds me about that when he's like, don't ever do that. It's dangerous. So hopefully this person who posted it didn't do it in real time. Does it cause a danger to some degree still? Possibly, because some people may have decided to just go in that location thinking she was still there even though she was gone, which could potentially put other people in danger. Potentially, yeah. So I mean, it's so hard, right? Like, yeah. Mel said, I only analyze and fangirl of Nick's posts. Thanks, Dalsy49. The Greenberg Brigade said, yep, I have made wrong assumptions about the situation and had to fact check myself. Serenity Chic said, I trust what Phoebe and Caroline say, true integrity, however, they are also human. Thank you, Serenity Chic. Yeah, I will always say, like, nobody is above reproach. Like, if anybody comes at you and talks to you as if you can't correct them, like, obviously, I would always prefer the correction to be done in love. It doesn't always get done in love. I wish it was. Some just say it in very hurtful ways. But again, as I said, like, I have to be able to take the truth that somebody is saying, even if I don't like the way in which they said it, or even if their motivation wasn't to actually help me, but to hurt me. That there's still sometimes, if they're telling the truth, they're telling the truth. Smart31 said, hi, Phoebe. Hi. Sharon said, I love that you draw boundaries. You'll let people know what you will and won't discuss. Yes, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. And you said, yay for your friend. Thank you. Trish said, so happy to hear about your friend. Me too. The Greenberg Brigade said, you are the first Lucala content creator I follow besides Tiff, and you are still my favorite live. Oh, the Greenberg Brigade, really? That's so sweet. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot. Thank you, Greenberg Brigade. Tam said, yep, I've seen that happen. Oh, I wish I knew what that meant. I don't anymore. Trish says, and thank you, Phoebe, for creating such a safe space for all Lucala shippers. Thanks, Trish. I hope I have. That's what my goal is. Mel 2.0 said, I love your boundaries. They're super healthy. Thank you. Sharon said, fighting like that gives me anxiety. I prefer fun and lighthearted humor. Me too. Mel said, oh, thank you, Phoebe. Yeah, I mean it, though. Let's see here. Mel said, Phoebe, you have cultivated a safe and inviting community. Oh, thanks. Rena said, Phoebe, I gave up my true crime lives to join all of your lives. Probably better mentally for me. Though I will say, true crime, I've never been through true crime lives, but like, honestly, I am that kind of person that's like watching Dateline, watching like, what other things are there? But like, Dateline is always the one. I'm like, I've watched too much. I used to watch Dateline way too much. I haven't seen Dateline in forever, but I used to love that show all the time. Dowsy49 says, thank you for your safe place to have discussions. Oh, yay. The Greenberg Brigade said, yeah, I never tag myself anywhere. Yeah, I've just been told it's not safe. I usually don't tag where I'm at either, but at the same time, I don't understand technology fully. So sometimes I think is built into some of the photos you take or things of that nature that I'm like, how do you take that off just in case you don't even know you are kind of disclosing where you're at. Lauren said it's just like it's just like never say you're going on vacation because people close to you can even rob you. Yeah. I mean, I think it didn't help that I just literally put out a whole post about like, hey, guess where I'm going for my birthday. But don't worry, I'm not going to like post my itinerary. Maybe what I will do is just like do videos and then like do things but not post it until I'm fully back or something. I don't know. Karen says, thank you, Phoebe, for being you. Thanks, Karen. Tam says, yes, I don't ever share real location time, only my close families. Mel 2.0 said, fandom and true crime have a lot of crossover. Hopefully not in like, well, no, but anyways, I don't know why I was laughing and snickering that way, but Giraffe Friend says, I love Dateline and 2020. Oh, I used to watch 2022. 2020 also. But yeah, Dateline was just my jam for some reason. Maybe because as a kid, I don't know, like as a kid, I don't know why I loved watching these shows, but I used to love watching Matlock and Murder, She Wrote as a kid, as a little kid. I just loved it. I loved it. And yet, like, it seemed like it would be a show for like adults, because like there were no kids in those shows. I mean, not really. They were all adults. But I loved Matlock and Murder, She Wrote. Oh, and Highway to Heaven. I used to love that. Like, Michael Landon always was crying every episode, I felt like, in Highway to Heaven. Tam said, I love ID Channel and some true crime creators on YouTube. Ooh, yes. Like ID Channel, yeah, I got that too, yeah. Mel said, TT always saying, add your location for more views. I'm like, nope. Yeah, that's true. KM Shoppy said, I like 24 hours. I have watched some 24 hours, but definitely, I don't know what it is about Dateline. Maybe it's the host guy. Maybe it's his voice. Though I will say, the Unsolved Mysteries guy, his voice always used to freak me out as a kid. I was always scared of Unsolved Mysteries because of that guy. And I think even his eyes freaked me out. But for some reason, the Dateline guy, his voice kind of soothing for the content that he's talking about, you know? The Greenberg Brigade said, True Crime and Lucala have a lot of crossover with all the detective work we do. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, maybe that's, okay, that's what, okay. Is that what Mel 2.0 also meant? Because, okay, that makes sense. Bombshell Baby 22 said, literally watching Murder, She Wrote and you at the same time. Murder, She Wrote was the jam. I loved Murder, She Wrote so much. I wonder which episode you're watching. But, like, I think I love things in general kind of like that. That's why I think I loved, like, Monk. I loved Monk. I loved Psych. And they kind of have, like, the same kind of vibe. Like, and that's why I think I'm like, it's really, like, when I put out these videos, it is just because I love mysteries. And I think they're fun to try to figure out what they are, you know? It's not because I'm beholden to any answer. Like, it could be Jake. It could be someone else. I don't really care. I just like to know. I just like to follow the crumbs and just be like, oh, what does this mean? And, you know, it's just supposed to be fun, I guess. Tam said, yes, I watched those, and my dad also had me watching Columbo. We still watch, LOL. Yeah, I just love those kind of things. Oh, MacGyver, too. I used to love watching MacGyver. Shallots for Life said, I used to watch all those. And Golden Girls with my mom. I also watched Golden Girls. Three's Company. Nicolene said, I love Murder, She Wrote. Anaya said, do you think all the analyzing posts and pics will push Nick even more off of social media? Anaya, you probably were not here when I discussed that question. But what I will say is, to do like a brief summary of my response to that is, I don't think we have main character energy, nor do we have even side character energy. Someone said, at best, we are extras in their life. Like, we are not in their brains. They're not going to my page to look at my overanalyzing post and be like, oh my word, we cannot be together now because people are overanalyzing everything we do. No, that's not enough. Because if it was enough, they would not be dating who people are thinking they're dating. Because if fans had as much effect on their lives as fans think they do, then they wouldn't be doing half the things that they're doing. Or people think that they're doing. You know what I mean? So I think, no, it's not gonna do anything. What I think will push Nicola off of social media is if people bring them this information, which to me is what is mind-boggling to me. Like, let it stay in the context in which it was created. No need to bring it to them. Like, people love tagging them on things that, like, why do they need to know that? Or bringing up information to them of, like, why do they need to know that? Like, the contents of, like, these over-analyzing posts and pics are for the fan base. They're not for Nicola and Luke. And they really don't know unless people are trying to bring it to them. And so that's all I will say about that. Mel said, yes, scary. The Greenberg Brigade said, Unsolved Mysteries gave me the chills as a kid. Is it me, just me? Is it his voice or is it his eyes? Like, there's something in his eyes. I felt like he was the reason that there were so many unsolved mysteries almost. Like, I was like, oh. Bombshell Baby 22. You're right. It was the music, too, on Unsolved Mysteries. Like, literally chills. Like, Dateline's music is not like that. So you're right. It was that music too. That attitude. It was like all of them put together just scared me. Annie 10 said, love Matlock and Murder, She Wrote. LOL, yes. Giraffe Friend said, did you know that Dateline guy is Matthew Perry's stepfather? You know what? I think I didn't know for a really long time, and then I found out. I think I found that out recently, maybe when Matthew Perry passed away. But also, like, after-school specials. I don't know if they do after-school specials now, but they used to do after-school specials, and I used to love those, too. H. Manley said, I have Murder, She Wrote on right now. Okay, who was the other person who told me the same thing? So I guess Murder, She Wrote is happening right now. Mel said, so are we all true crime girlies? Is that why we love analyzing? Probably. Mel 2.0 said, yep, the true crime fandom crossovers because of the wanting to know. I believe it. And Dea said, I love Psych. Mel 2.0 said, and the curiosity of observing other humans. Shouts for Life said, Psych, though I never paid enough attention to find all the pineapples. Oh, I didn't even realize the pineapples were a thing for a really long time until people told me. So I always missed that. Rena said, I love the Johnny Depp trial. It was a real life Matlock. We need another one soon. Mel said, love Golden Girls. BCT Flower Girl 7 said, Three's Company is the best. His son, I forgot what his son's name is like John Ritter's son. If they think it's Jason Ritter, my word, so much like his dad. So much. He reminds me so much of his dad. Mel said, I like to think Nick posts to have fun with us. It's like she says, here you go, kids. I do think so, too. Bombshell Baby 22 said, amen, it gives me the ick. Oh, wait, what gave you the ick? The unsolved mystery? Or was something else? The Greenberg Brigade said, the way he talked in the music was so scary. Unsolved Mysteries, yes. Okay, I think we were talking about Unsolved Mysteries there. Yeah, because, yeah. I'm like, ugh. I don't know, he was so scary. I mean, and the music. Yeah, the music did not help. Anaya said, yeah, I agree with that. Melissa, hey, peeps, hi. The Greenberg Brigade said, and it was always people who went missing and were never found, which freaked me out. My dad absolutely hates it when we watch a Dateline that doesn't have a resolution. Anytime we end up watching a Dateline that happens, he's like, why did we watch that? What a waste of time. Like, I want to know what the answer is. Like, don't give me unresolved things. Give me resolved things. So he was never a fan of that. Y'all, I'm going to finish the last of these messages. And then I'm going to head off because I need to head off for the night. But let me finish these up. TK said, I love cold case files and forensic files. Giraffe Friend said they don't do the afternoon school specials. I love those and watch them on YouTube. Yeah, Shouts for Life said Jason Ritter. Bombshell Baby 22 said people sharing fandom content with actors gives me the ick. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, unless you're sharing happy stuff, like, I don't feel like they need to know. And I don't think tags are the same as adding. I just don't. Mel says, oh, I hate Unsolved Mysteries. I need to know. TK said, I want the answers too, like your dad. LOL. Yeah. And then ending with H. Manley here. So thanks for a fun night. Good night. All right. Awesome, y'alls. I will probably upload this one to YouTube in case folks are interested in watching this. Have a good one. Bye.